Hey everyone, it's Jasmine. So I am back with another video. As you can tell by the title, this is my cosmetology school experience. I have filmed this video 2 separate times, and both times it just wasn't what I wanted. The first time I was still currently enrolled. I think I was still on salon level. If not, then I just got onto tech level, and I just wasn't really talking about the things that I think I needed to talk about, especially like the whole experience. I wasn't able to really talk about because I hadn't gone through everything, so I just got rid of that. The second one, I had just graduated. It was that week that I graduated. Like, I graduated on a Monday and my last day was a Tuesday, and I filmed that video on a Friday. So I literally was just fresh out of cosmetology school at that point. Now, and at that point I was just too busy talking about like graduation, really focusing on that experience versus the experience of the whole thing as a total. So I have that on my computer, so I might still edit it and just have that for my graduation experience video. This time I was watching an experience video last night about cosmetology school, and it just really spoke to how I wanted my video to be, exactly how I wanted to break it down. I just hadn't been doing that just because I literally was focused on graduation in one and hadn't gone through the whole experience in the other. So I just figured, let me sit down and refilm. Sorry about all the stuff collecting around me, but I'm going to be filming a couple videos, and since this is my filming area, I just figured I would have everything in the filming area before I sat down to film, because I didn't want to sit down and film and then film videos back to back and not have everything that I needed. So yeah, if that distracts you, I'm sorry, but let's just get so as you guys know, I did go to cosmetology school. I did graduate, and like I said, I will probably keep that video as my graduation experience video. So yeah, if you want to see that, then that will most likely be up before this one if I keep that video. And basically it was a long experience. So I'm going to start from the very beginning of me deciding to go. So me deciding to go was a long experience as well. It was a long journey to finally decide to go. It's something that I had wanted to do for a very long time, but I just wasn't sure when I wanted to do it. If I wanted to do it before I went to college, after I went to college, I just wasn't sure, so I put it off and put it off. And then the year before I finally went, so in 2015, I was debating on if I was going to do cosmetology school or if I was going to go to a community college for 2 years and get my English degree. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do on that front, if I wanted to do the English degree first, or if I wanted to get my cosmetology license and go to cosmetology school. I wasn't sure, so I literally just didn't do anything. I looked into both of them somewhat, but not extensively. And then the following year, or getting close to the following year, I came to a decision that that's what I wanted to do. So then 2016 came around, and I buckled down and I started doing a lot of research about the different schools, watching a bunch of videos about what questions I should ask, how to decide a school for you. A lot of different things went into my decision. So when I finally did do all of that, I came up with 5 schools that I wanted to go to, or that I was looking into going to. So this is in no particular order, or that I was going to go tour and everything that I was going to look into were Empire, Fortis, Regency, Paul Mitchell's, and I'm not exactly sure what the name of the other one is. I believe it's Baltimore School of Hair Design, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. Please do not quote me on that, but I believe that that is the name of the school. Since I live in Maryland and I'm in the Baltimore area, that was something that I was looking into. So I based my decision on the schools that were closest to me. That order was not at all the schools that were closest to me. And so I just decided that that's how I was going to tour them. And so I decided to go to Empire first, because Empire was the closest school to me. It was literally like, I want to say 10 minutes from me, by car if there's traffic. Without traffic, it's about 4 to 5 minutes. So if there weren't any traffic, you would be there within 4 to 5 minutes, by car. So I went on their website and I contacted them, and they called me, and I scheduled my tour day, and I went with my mom and my little sister. And when I got there, they had me like fill out some kind of like questionnaire thing about why I wanted to go, filling out my name, I think my email was on it too, and what I would want to do after I accomplished getting my license. So I filled that out, and gave that back to them, and then the lady came out to give me my tour, or not give me my tour, but like talk to me and everything, and then go on the tour. So we went to her office, and she asked us a couple questions, gave me and my mom and my little sister our not enrollment books, but it was like a little pamphlet thing that was kind of like the size of a magazine, that was describing the school and the program and the whole entire Empire in general. So yeah, and then we went on the tour, and I don't know exactly what it was about the place or about the people there, because I didn't talk to any of the students, but and I only talked to a teacher really briefly. I talked to a teacher for like a second, and it wasn't really about anything serious or asking any questions, but there was just something about the place that I was just like, I really like this place. I could see myself enjoying my time here, and I don't know, I could just really see myself enjoying that. And so I just continued to walk around with her, listen to what she had to say about it, and then it went as far as me fully deciding that this is what I wanted to do. We ended up talking about another school that had actually been on my list, which was Regency, and that it was on my list, but it was at the bottom of my list, really, because of the fact that I knew a lot of people that went there, and that is the only reason that it actually was on my list, because I did know a lot of people that went there, and watching the videos, it seemed like in other states and whatnot that people had a great experience there. There were a lot of videos that people did not have a great experience there, so it was kind of iffy for me. That's why I was at the bottom of my list. But I knew a lot of people that went there, and they just would talk about how there was so much drama with students and teachers, as well as the fact that not that many people that graduated actually finished and got their license, because they really were not taught everything that they needed to be taught to get their license. And that was coming from students that went there. And so it was something that I didn't want to spend all this money, like getting loans and financial aid and getting into debt for something that I went to, but because I wasn't taught anything for it, that I didn't get my license. So I just decided that it was at the bottom of my list, and if I didn't find a school that I really loved, then that would be the school that I was going to possibly go to. But if I just really didn't find the school for me, then I probably really wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have done it, and I probably would have went ahead and gotten my English degree. Like I said, instantly, it was just something about the atmosphere there that I just fell in love with the school, and I knew that was the school for me. I didn't have to go see any other school. I didn't want to go see any other school after that. So, a little while later, I went back to do my enrollment papers. And I wanted to start by June 22nd, but I didn't finish my paperwork in time. Everything wasn't done. So I ended up starting July 11th. So I went there for that. I was there a lot at that school before I even started. I went back for me to do my financial aid paperwork, and to get my loans and my grants and whatnot. I went back again to get a new reward letter because something happened, and I ended up having to come back to fix that. And at that meeting, I found out about orientation, which I believe was July 5th. Because I think I went to Six Flags July 6th, so I believe my orientation was July 5th. And then I went back again before orientation, I believe, to pay, I believe it was July 5th. I believe it was before July 5th that I went to go pay, my first check back to the school, because basically with my financial aid and everything, basically I was completely covered, but I did have to make monthly payments to pay off a remaining balance of like $400 and something, and so it was broken down into, we paid like $45 every month until like January, I want to say, of 2017. So there was that. So starting with actually going, so I did start with the orientation. Basically, that's where we met our teacher. It was 8 of us starting on July 11th. So you have orientation with all the people that you start with. There were 2 missing because both of them were still on vacation at that time. So at that time it was just the 6 of us. But like I said, we ended up meeting, getting to know a little bit about each other, getting to know all about the school, the program, and everything. And we ended up meeting our teacher because she ended up having to come in to get something that she needed for class. And we were taking over her classroom for orientation. So there are 2 programs basically at Empire. There's daytime and then there's nighttime. So and that breaks down to full-time and part-time. So daytime is full-time, part-time is nighttime. So I enrolled into the daytime program because the difference there is that with the part-time you are there for 2 years, and with the full-time you are there for 11 months to a year. And so I didn't want to be there for 2 years trying to get my license. I could have, because I could have gotten a job, but I figured, let me just go ahead and do the full-time, get it over with, and I won't have to worry about it. So I did that, and I was happy about that. So like I said, so with full-time you're there from 9 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, and with part-time you are there from on Monday through Thursday, and Monday through Wednesday, I want to say you're there from 5:30 to 10, and then Thursday you're there from 5:30 to 9. I'm not 100% sure about their hours, so don't quote me on nighttime because I wasn't a part of that program. But I know daytime hours. Like clock in and out just like any normal job. That's how you get your hours. Here in the state of Maryland, you need 1,500 hours, and that is why you have the 11th month program, because from Monday through Friday, 9 to 4:30 for the 11 months, you'll get 1,500 hours. And then from 5:30 to 10 or 5:30 to 9, you get your 1,500 hours in 2 years because you're part-time and you're not doing it as long as we are. So I just decided that I was going to do that. Like I said, here in Maryland, the required hours to graduate are 1,500 hours. A lot of other places are less, and a lot of other places are more. Like Google, so you can put in how many hours do you need to graduate cosmetology school in whatever state you're in. So yeah, so for me, mine are 1,500 hours. I know in New York it's like 1,000 hours, so I would be able to get my license in New York without having to go to school any longer, because I have 500 over that amount to get it. So yeah. So like I said, so now Empire is broken down into 3 stages. Both daytime and nighttime are all broken down into the 3 stages. So you have pre-salon, which is not as long as salon, but it's longer than tech. So you have pre-salon, salon level, and tech level. Tech level is the shortest amount of time you will be there. Salon level is the longest amount of time, and pre-salon is right there in the middle. So you start with pre-salon, and that is you doing like your theory and your practical work, and you are basically getting all the fundamentals to cosmetology. So with cosmetology, you get hair, makeup, and skin, and nails. You get to do all 4 things, which makeup is in skin, so really you get the 3 things that are part of cosmetology. So your main focus is hair in cosmetology school, but you will, and with your license, you'll be able to go and work in a nail shop and do nails. You will be able to go work in a spa and do facials and makeup, because you are licensed to do all of that. You don't, here in Maryland, you do not have to be licensed to do makeup. I don't think you have to be licensed really anywhere to do makeup. I think you just need to have like a certificate, which isn't a license, but I think in some states you have to, or a certified makeup artist, whereas here you don't have to. You just have to have makeup and be a makeup artist. So you're pretty much able to do all of that once you get your license, but you do mainly focus on hair. That's mainly all you're really doing, but you get to do everything on top of that. Like I said, you have your pre-salon. So with pre-salon, you have 6 3-week modules in daytime. That's the difference here as well. So with daytime and nighttime, you do the same stuff, but it's longer during nighttime. So with daytime, you have 6 3-week modules, and at nighttime, you have 6 6-week modules. So all the modules are the same. You learn all the same stuff, but you have a shorter amount of time in daytime to grasp everything than you do at nighttime, or to practice everything, basically. So for me, and it goes in a circle, so that way you know when you are going to be moving up. I know some schools do it where they do a different module every single day, and some schools don't have any different stages, but with Empire you have 3 different stages, and they're all broken down time-wise. So with that being said, like I said, pre-salon, 6 3-week modules, and that's about, I want to say, 4 months worth of stuff. that you're doing. So it's right under salon level, really. So for me, like I said, it went in a circle. So when I started in nails. So I did nails for 3 weeks. After the 3 weeks were done, after we did the theory, after we did the practical stuff, after we did both of the final tests and stuff like that, we moved up into skincare. So we did skincare for 3 weeks, and every 3 weeks, after the 3 weeks, a new start starts. So I started on the Monday of nails starting, and then the Monday that skincare started, other people came in, and so on and so forth. And that's how it just keeps going. Every 3 weeks, a new start starts, and that could be one person, that could be people, that could be several different people coming in. You just never know, or there could just not be any people starting. So yeah. But yeah, so we do so then we did skincare for 3 weeks. Then after the 3 weeks of that, I went to chemical texturizing, and from there it went to hair cutting. After hair cutting was hair coloring, and then after hair coloring was design, and design principles was my last module there. So after those 3 weeks were done, my group that started with me moved up to salon level. So with salon level, that is, you move to salon level, and that is your longest time there. So you're there on salon level for about 5 months, and like I said, that's literally right underneath the, so pre-salon is right underneath salon level, because you're there for 4 months, and you're on salon level for 5 months. So, and this is where it changes from pre-salon. So why you're there for 5 months is because they add 2 new modules that you didn't get in pre-salon. So you have 2 new ones, which is career readiness and state board state law. So again, it goes in a circle again, but it's not the same exact circle that you came into. So sometimes it'll be weird where when you start on, say, I started on nails, it sometimes will happen where when you go on salon, that's the module that you're going to go out on too, but that's not how it worked out for me. I had a couple friends that when they started on chemical texturizing, and when they came out to the floor, that's what they started out on as well. So yeah, and they were 2 modules after me. So so when I came out, I started on hair coloring, which hair coloring is my favorite module. It's my favorite thing to do. So we did hair coloring for 3 weeks again. And then after that was state law. So that was for 3 weeks, where it's basically you getting ready for all your state board procedures, your theory and stuff like that. And then it was chemical texturizing, and then it was nails, and then it was career readiness, and then it was hair cutting, hair design principles, and skincare. So my last module on the floor was skincare, or on the salon level was skincare. And so the difference from pre-salon, salon level, and tech level, pre-salon is you're in the classroom all day that you're there. You're not on the floor, you don't take clients, they don't pull you to take clients, nothing. You stay in the classroom, that's it. Salon level, you're in the classroom 1 of the 5 days you are on that you're there. So 4 of the days you are on salon floor, and then 1 day you are in the classroom. So there are 2 separate days that you go in the classroom, because there's 2 separate classes. So there's Tuesday class, and then there's Wednesday class. Normally there's 2 separate teachers, but we keep losing teachers, or the school there kept losing teachers. So while I was there, I started where there was only one teacher doing salon level classroom days, and then moved to 2 teachers, and then moved back to only being one. I was already on tech level. So like I said, there's Tuesday class and there's Wednesday class. I was in Tuesday class, so I was on the floor Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then in the classroom Tuesday. And you're only in the classroom 1 day a week, like I said, so you really only have 3 days to actually do classwork and stuff like that. And that's when you're doing like tests, you're studying, like you're getting your words and everything, and you're refreshing your brain of all the theory that you learned in pre-salon, and then you're doing hands-on things all the time. So yeah, salon level. Like I said, we do that. And then Wednesday class is clearly in the class on Wednesday, so they're on the floor Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And they're doing their classwork and stuff like that in the classroom on Wednesday. And like I said, it's a different order, a different rotation, and you're taking clients, of course. You can work on each other, but within the module. And yeah, so you do sometimes, they will do some fun activities sometimes, or at least my school did. We had like fashion shows and stuff like that that took out clients and whatnot, but yeah. So then moving on to tech level. Tech level is the shortest amount of time you will be there that you'll be there at school. Typically it's about a month. But that all depends on how far you push it. So I ended up pushing my graduation back about 2 months. I was supposed to graduate May 22nd, and I didn't graduate until July 24th, and my last day was the 25th. So I ended up pushing my graduation about 2 months back. So yeah, but I was there basically, I was there longer than a year, basically, because I started July 11th and I didn't graduate until July 24th. Last day is the 25th. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, but that's basically you don't really have any class periods. They did change it while I was there that you did have Mondays you were in the class doing state board prep, and then every day else you were on the floor. And then it went back to no days in the classroom for tech level now that I'm not there, which I'm kind of glad I at least got the Mondays while I was there, because I don't think I would have passed my practical or my theory if I hadn't. So I'm kind of glad about that. And yeah, so you are basically, you get a lot more leeway on stuff. You aren't babysat. The teacher literally will give you assignments or tell you do your enrichments, and you basically do your enrichments, and then you can work on each other and stuff like that, and you'll get your clients. You're basically treated like you are working in a salon, and if she knows that you need help, or if you've tried and you don't know what you're doing or whatnot, then she'll be fine with helping you or letting somebody else step in and help you as well. But otherwise, you're on your own. But yeah, so I think for me, my favorite part was tech level, because I was pretty much on my own. It was nerve-wracking, but I didn't have to constantly be like, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do this? Like, no, I knew what I was supposed to do every day, and if I got 2 things signed off, then I would get my hair done, or I would be able to do somebody else's hair or something like that. So it was really quite easy. Now for requirements of graduating. So like I said to you, that depends on the amount of hours that you have to have in your state. So in mine, which is Maryland, you have to have 1,500 hours in order to graduate. I think it's all across the board in Maryland that at 1380 you can go and take your state board theory test. So That's what I did. At 1380, I went and took my theory test, and I passed with an 80 something, 85, 89. I don't exactly remember. All I know is I passed. And then at 1500, you have to wait until you hit 1500 hours in order to take your practical. So that is what I did. I took my practical. After I hit 1500 hours, I literally graduated Monday the 24th, and my last day was the 25th. And I took my state board that following Monday on the 31st of July. So that was really nerve-wracking, but I took it, and their system was down, so I wasn't really able to find out if I passed or not. They basically told all of us that we were good to go, that we had nothing to worry about, but I took it. And then the following day I called them, and they told me that I would get it in the mail, but it came like a week later after they told me that it'd be in the mail. So I was lucky enough to think, let me go check my email, see if I can get on the website and check online, and I did, and it said that I passed. So I was really, really excited. I do now have my license. I have both the card and the little thing that you have to frame and keep in the salon with you. So yeah. But yeah, so I do have all of that. That came in the mail as well. And with Empire, they pay. I pretty much believe that all schools across the board do that, but I know with Empire, at least, it is in your tuition that they pay for your tests and your license. So they pay for your tests the first time you do it. So if you fail, you have to take the test again, and you pay. So I was lucky enough that I passed on my first tries, and I didn't have to pay for it. They're not expensive, but it's still the fact that at least I didn't have to shell out that money when it was already basically paid for by my financial aid. So yeah. And then they paid for my, whatchamacallit, my, what is that thing? My license. And yeah. So I'm a licensed cosmetologist now. Like I said about graduation, they are changing the graduation at the campus that I went to. They will no longer be doing a solo graduation. Now they're just going to be doing like a graduation once or twice a month, and so people that graduate before that point, they have to come back to do a graduation. So yeah, that kind of sucks for them, but I got my solo graduation, which is fine by me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys later.